Okay, in this first video, we will just be getting a little bit familiar with LibreOffice Calc. This is an alternative to Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets that can behave really similarly to Excel, I would say. So right off the bat here, we can see our interface. If you want to zoom in and out, this little slider on the bottom right can help you with that. Or for me, I'm on a PC and I can just hold down the control button on my keyboard and then scroll in and out with my mouse wheel. Which is what I usually do as a shortcut. And one thing right off the bat here, if you're used to Microsoft Excel, I certainly am, we can change our interface to be a little bit more like that. So I'm going to go to View, User Interface. And then we see these options, and I'm just going to go to Tabbed. And you can apply it to all of LibreOffice Suite if you downloaded the other apps, or just apply it to Excel. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that here. And now you can immediately see the top probably looks more familiar if you're used to Excel. And so just basically when I click on these different tabs, now I can see the different options available to me. And so like any sort of sheet software, right, we can click around to different cells, or it's what the individual, I guess blocks are, chunks. These are called cells. And then we have our columns, which run vertically, and our rows, which run which run left to right. And so here we're in cell A1, and it's going to tell us that right there. Here we're in cell E9, so column E, row 9, so on and so forth. And so in any sort of cell, and I guess too, if you want to highlight an entire column, you can do that. You can click and drag to highlight specific chunks of cells, right? So say I had like stuff right here, like dog, cat, bird, whatever. And I had over here, I had 2 dogs, 3 cats, and 987 birds, because I'm weird like that. I could highlight those by clicking and dragging, right click and do copy, or on a PC, Control C with your keyboard. So I'll copy that. I'm going to paste it here, and there you have it, right? So just some basics right off the bat. In any sort of cell, you can start typing directly into it, like I was just earlier, or you can type in this input line right here, and then you can cancel it, which undoes what you did, or you can accept it and it'll move on. So some basic stuff. I encourage you to move around and play with it. Let's see if there's anything else that jumps out right off the bat. So we can work with different sheets, and different sheets, basically it's like if you imagine like this sheet in front of you here is like a piece of paper. These are just multiple pieces of paper, right? So if I'm on sheet 1, let me undo that. Okay, so I'm on sheet 1 here, and let's say I have some stuff. I have dog, cat, bird, right? And I have stuff here. If I add a new sheet by clicking this plus icon, then now I have a new sheet, and I can go back and forth. And it's like different pieces of paper, right, that I'm working with, which can be useful down the road. Like we'll probably call from other sheets and like use these to build on one another or to refer to one another in some of our formulas. But here, just know that we can do that. If you want to rename a sheet, like say I have this is pets, and maybe over here I have, I don't know, groceries or something, right? Say I'm using this for personal reasons, right? You can do that as well. You can rename them. You can move them. So if I want to move them around, I'm going to move groceries in front of pets, right? You can do whatever you want. You can also click and drag to move them, whatever you want to do. So some basics about that. And once again, I just encourage you to get familiar with the interface. If you want to save stuff, save or save as, all things you're probably familiar with. But yeah, so that's kind of just a little bit about what we're doing here and some basics about using the interface. Some other minor things that come to mind are, say we wanted to, insert some new column here, or let's say we do it this way, right? So let's say something I work with a lot are spreadsheets of students and their grades. So say I have like last name, assignment 1, assignment 2, right, and so on and so forth. Well, for starters, I see that these are kind of overlapping and I can't see the whole title. So I want to click and drag to spread it out, right? We can do that pretty simply. Let's say that I wanted to add in a row in front of or a column in front of this one, so I could add first names. We can do that one of two ways. We can right click on the whole column by clicking the number that corresponds to the column and click insert columns before. Or I just undid that. You can do that clicking this, or I did Control Z with my keyboard. Or we can highlight the column, or I think probably anywhere, and then click this button here to insert columns before. Right, so now I can add first name. And I'll set myself, Kevin Walters. I bombed the first assignment, but I did great on the second one. Right. Same thing is true for cells. Say I'm working with the students here and I have someone who's in front of me alphabetically. I can insert a row above, and then I can add in something else there. Yeah, and say I wanted to change the font or something, I can change that here. I wanted this font and I wanted it in size 48 because I'm just a crazy person. We could do that. I'm going to undo that. We could also change the background color. So that's what this does here, or the font color. So say I wanted to make some contrast, so I wanted a dark background. And then I guess I automatically changed the font color there. But say I wanted it to be yellow, right? I could do that, right? So just some basic things you can do to play around with it. We'll go ahead and leave it there for now and pick up more on this in other videos.